Hello everyone, it's Mich here, and welcome to my channel. If you're new, thanks so much for stopping by, and I hope you like what you see and come back for more. And for those of you who keep coming back and supporting me, I really do thank you a lot. Today we're going to be working in the little junk journal that I've been working in, that is based on the DigiKit The Garden Story by Rachel Bella Crafts and Angela Kerr. There is a collaboration going on right now, as this is March the 29th. I'm not part of the actual collaboration, but I just love this DigiKit and just wanted to work in it and do some pages. So I think this is probably the 4th video I've put up. So there are other ones that kind of go through some of the pages that we've done so far. But today I want to work at getting a cover created. So I'm going to have to probably do this in stages because I think things are going to have to dry and whatnot. But let's get started. So I'm going to put that to the side. So what I did to start is I actually printed some of the patterned paper on different medium. So I used onionskin paper, which you can get at, I got this at Staples, and it's kind of like tracing paper, but it's a little bit more, it's a little bit stronger, I think. So I tried that, and then I did try some tracing paper, which is right here. So I used the Canson 25 pound, and this is maybe a fraction thinner than that other one, and it has a smoother feel to it. And then lastly, I just used some tissue paper, just some white tissue paper. I tried it in my HP printer and my Epsom Eco Tank, and I could print. So this is the onion skin. Okay, so it's a little bit like vellum, but it just feels, it's very like a tissue. And then this is the tracing paper, which is a lot finer. And then these here are the tissue paper that I just got at the dollar store. Now, to print this through, the way that I do it, and I can't guarantee your success, is that I take a letter size paper, just a normal printer paper, and then I put some double-sided tape around the corners, around the edges, and then I lay I start at the top first. I put some double-sided, and I put my tissue paper down and lay it flat, and then I pull the paper back and I put a line of double-sided tape, and then I gently work it so that there's no bubbles or wrinkles until I get to the bottom, and any excess I cut off. So that's how that's how I do it. You do lose some, so if you want what's right to the edges, like I didn't realize until after I had done it that where I was going to have to cut the tape off, it was going to interfere with the butterflies. So I just went in and I cropped them out, and I just am printing just some butterflies on the tissue paper. Okay, so the project that I want to work with first is I want to work with this tissue paper. The other thing that I did, because it's an inkjet printer and the colors aren't as set as they would be on a laser, which actually kind of bakes them on, I took this out into a ventilated area and I actually sprayed over top with some hairspray, just so that when I use medium water base, that maybe it's not going to make the colors run. As my HP, sometimes those colors will run. So I did that first. I then did a sample on this little butterfly. It's still kind of wet, and I did kind of like the effect. It's kind of sheer, but I kind of like it. So I thought we would play with that. So I was at Michael's in the dollar store yesterday. I've been trying not to buy things, budget and all that. But they had these, I guess it's a banner. So this was at Michael's. And they have a bunch of these flowers, wooden flowers, and they're supposed to create like a banner. And I think I got, sorry for all the noise, I think I got these for like $3.99. So there's daisies and, what would you say that was? I don't know, pansy maybe? So I wanted to work with the daisy. So I'm going to use that. And then the other thing I found was this, and this was at the dollar store in Halifax. And it's a birdhouse that you actually assemble and put together. So there's the back panel and then sort of your sides and your bottom. Well, I really liked the front of that. So I took my craft knife, and on the sides there's these little notches. So I just took my craft knife and very carefully I just worked at cutting those off. So once they were cut off, I just took a little bit of sandpaper and just sanded it down so that I have kind of like a birdhouse thing. And so my idea, kind of, I don't know how it's going to play out, but is I wanted to have kind of this flower banner and then maybe like a birdhouse on top of that. I had a bigger wooden panel that I was going to put there. I don't even know where it went now. Here it is. But it just covered up too much. And when I was putting that, yeah, it's nice. But you know what? The reason that I chose this material is because I loved it so much. So I don't want to cover it all up. So I thought that this would kind of be a good, kind of like a good compromise. All right. So the first thing that I want to do is on both the birdhouse and the flower is I just want to take some Liquitex. This is just a cheapy white paint, and I just want to do a little bit of kind of like distressing. You know, I don't want it to be all over. This is going to be covered up, but where the white bits are, I'm hoping that the tissue paper will shine through a little better. And I need this. I don't want that cut out. I don't want that filled with paint. And then once that dries, I'll distress it with some sand, with just a little bit of paper. The sandpaper I'm using is a little bit fine, but it doesn't really matter. You can get that at the dollar store too. Okay, so then I'm just gonna distress some of this one here too, and then we'll let that dry a bit. And you don't have to be fussy with it, or I'm not going to be. Okay, and then I have a little bit of water here just to rinse my brush with. Okay. So I'm going to need this for my matte medium. So the other thing that I'm going to use, or the thing that I'm going to use to kind of tack down my tissue or my other paper, is I'm just going to use some matte medium. Okay, I'm just getting rid of that there. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to use some Liquitex matte medium, and I'll just, once that's dry, I'm going to put a coat of that on. And then for the birdhouse, I want to use that blue. And then for the daisy, I want to try to see what that's going to look like. Well, that's drying. The other thing that I picked up at the dollar store, if I can find them now, is I found a bunch of Google Eyes. Well, I've had these, but, and I cut the back off, took the eyeball out, and then that gives me a little dome. Okay, and I'm going to use that little dome to put in the center of my birdhouse. Okay, and we'll get to that. So what I think I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to go dry these, and then I'll be right back. Okay, that's pretty good. So I've got some matte medium here that I'm just going to slather on the little birdhouse. A good liberal dose there. And then I'm just going to take, so my iPad is acting peculiar and it cut out there. But I just, I'm not sure what did video, but I got the tissue paper down on there, and then I've put the onion skin down, and I'm just going to try and get out a few wrinkles. Now, I think it was cut out, but I was saying that in hindsight, I'm thinking maybe I should have used the tissue paper for this, for the flower too, because the tissue paper is just so easy to peel off, which I'm not sure that this is going to be. And I can see that some of it has started to, some of the paint has run a little bit, but I don't really care because you'll see when we get to, I'm just going to be cutting and sanding some of that anyway. I keep my water covered because I have a small craft room, and 9 times out of 10 I'll knock it over. So okay, so while that one's setting, I'm just gonna, with the tissue paper, we can just peel that right away, which is great, and it just leaves us with our little birdhouse. Okay. Like so. And then once that's good and dry, I'm going to take a little bit of sand paper and sand the edges. Push that through a bit, because we'll be using that later. And then I really want to pat down the edges there, so that we could put our little dome in there. Okay, we can square that up a little bit better later. So for this one, I'm just going to take my craft knife, because I don't really think that, no, it won't pull away like the tissue paper did. That's alright though, I can just cut it out. And then, just like what we did with the tissue paper, like sand the edges and stuff. Today's another rainy day here in Halifax. Chester's sleeping in the window again. So sometimes he sits up at the end of the table and he watches what I'm doing, and I think he's learning. It's like he's having a tutorial, so he can make his own little kitty cat book. Okay, so we got that out, and then I think I just go around. I can see that some of the edges haven't adhered, so I'll put more underneath. Okay. And then we could even, I could wait till it's dry, but patience sometimes isn't my better suit. I can be very impatient. But that's okay. We're not all perfect. But yeah, so it's been a torrential rains here today. Although I'm glad it's not snow, because we've had in the past where it has snowed. I think I'm going to put my glass mat. It might cause a glare though, I apologize. That'll help cut it better. In 2015, we had so much snow. It was like to my roof. Literally, I had to hire a front end loader to come in and move some of the snow. You couldn't even see like the road from the house. The snow was in front of the windows. And I don't like that kind of snow, to be honest. So you can see with this one here that I should have either tried more hairspray, because the colors did run. Now we're gonna spice it up and stuff, so I don't think it's gonna really matter too much in the scheme of things. So what's everybody doing this Easter weekend? I'm off, thankfully. Today's Friday. I'm hoping to film this and get it out today, but it might be tomorrow. So I'll be spending some time with some friends, and we'll have our family thing on Monday. And yeah, I'll be making some Cinnabons Monday morning. We all love those. Okay, so I just want to put a little bit more down in places where, and when we sand too, it's going to rough it up some, so it's not going to be perfect. That's for sure. All right, so I think we're just going to leave that dry, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back, and I've done a few things. So I took my sandpaper, and I just distressed this a bit. So I went along the edges, in the center there, and then I just took my finger with a little bit of white paint, and I just went along the side. I did some splatters of paint, and as well as I took my StazOn ink pad, and I just took a graph check stamp and a word stamp, and I just gently went around and did a little bit of stamping. I found this little metal buckle in my stash that says Dream, and then just a little bit of ribbon. So I told you that I had the googly eye, so I've taken the little dome out of that, and I'm going to put it, just miraculously, it fit exactly in my little birdhouse. So it's got that little dome there. And then I've cut out a little piece of backing paper because I'm thinking that I just want to have just a flower in there. I had this flower, so I kind of thought that that would be pretty like that. So I'm just gonna put my thing in there, and then just gonna put some Fabri-Tac around, and my backing paper will hold it should hold the dome in place there. And I'm just gonna put that over the hole there. And then the little flower can shake around a bit. And yeah, so I'm quite happy with that little dome. Oop. I was until I messed it all up. As long as it's all covered, I'm fine. See, the thing is, if I get glue inside there, it's not going to move around, but that's okay. Right, so then that's the birdhouse part, which I'm kind of happy with that. And then for my daisy, I distressed it up a bit, and then I stamped on it as well, and then I just took some white paint and kind of spotted it around and did some splatters. And then I have a ribbon clamps that I've put just some seam, is that seam binding? Yeah. And just some ribbon, because that's going to be my closure. And then I found this vintage doily that I've had for a long, long time. And that was handmade. And then just a piece of curtain that I had. And I'm kind of thinking that I want to layer kind of that up like that. I am going to cover my bird a little bit, but I'm okay with that. Because I kind of thought maybe something like that. Like that. And then I'll have the birdhouse kind of off to the side. Like that. And then I had a Tim Holtz word. Today is full of possibilities. So let's dream about what we can do today. So I'm kind of liking that layering effect. So I've got my glue gun out here because I find that Fabri-Tac and glue gun work the best for things. I'm actually got a bigger bottle of Fabri-Tac, I think, which would be better. Just use my head if it gets in the way. And then there really isn't a good, yeah, there's a good and a bad side to, not bad side, but, so I'm just gonna get this down. Putting this around. It's long past supper time. I get working in the craft room and it's just, nothing else matters sometimes. And I have somewhere, I have a silicone little brush that this way it doesn't stick to my fingers. Okay, so I got that part down, and then kind of thinking to put that there. I think I'll use this. I'm going to do it. The whole intent of this is to have my gardening journal, and I've never really dedicated a junk journal to my garden, so I'm really happy about that. Thinking that would be good there. About there, I think. Yeah, I think that'll work. So I'm just going to get that pushed down. And this silicone brush, I think I just got it might have even got it at the dollar store. But I'm thinking maybe Michael's I got it. Okay, so that's pressed down. So then the next thing I want to put down is my daisy. And I think that will work. I wanted it just a little bit over because I've got this guy that I want to put down. Okay. So I'm going to use my hot glue gun for this bit. And hopefully it'll stick. I think this is my hot one. And I find hot sticks a little bit better. The thing about glue guns, which I kind of didn't realize until, well, I've known for a while, but is that, oops, you gotta kind of put it down and then leave it for a while and not play with it. Okay, so I'm thinking that will do. I'm trying to press it right down. I can feel the heat through the wood bit. Okay, and then, so then this will just wrap round, and then I can tie it on the side there. So I'm liking that. I'm liking those strands there. Okay, and then this one there. So I want to put a little bit of foam tape on the side, and I just want to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac there. So I'm going to have this coming So I think what I'll do is I think I'm going to cut this. I'm going to layer it. So if I put that about there, I just need another piece. So I'm actually going to put, I'm going to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac on there too, just to help it adhere to itself. And then I think that will raise it up enough. I need just another little piece, but only like half of this. Do you guys sometimes struggle with what to have for supper? You know, when I was younger, I always had kind of like, oh, this is what the week's going to be like, and I'm going to make this and this and that. And now I just kind of think, what did I eat before? Because I sometimes can't even think what I'd like to have to eat. And I eat most anything. Okay. So let's see how that goes. I think that'll go good there. Okay. So it's going to look something like that. I like that. And I'm just going to run out of glue. I'm just going to get some glue down there, even there. Okay, and then I'll get this thinking like that. I like that. My little window's got a little bit frosty. Okay, so then I just want to decorate it a bit. So I want to put this on. So I'm kind of thinking I'll stick that there. No, I like it down there. I like that up a little bit higher. Today is full of possibilities. So I'm going to put that down with some Fabri-Tac. My phone is a thumb print. Well, I can put in a passcode, but I can also use my thumb, and when I get crafting, it won't accept my thumb because it's all full of glue and stuff. Okay, so what is next? So the next thing is, I just want to decorate it. When I was at Michael's the other day, I got a bunch of these flowers that I absolutely love. I think they were $14.99, but I had a 50% off coupon. So, and there wasn't any big purchase items at that time. I'm going to go back next time I get a 50% off and get some more Fabri-Tac. Find if I get it at Michael's with a coupon, then it's not a bad price. I found these leaves in my stash, so I kind of thought that would be cool to put those in there. And then I found some of this color flower. So I kind of thought that would look nice with maybe another one of these little flowers. So I'm just going to cut this little, this must have come off of something. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll put a little bit of glue on the back. Not that blob of glue though. I sometimes struggle with the cover. That's why it takes me a while to kind of figure out what I'm going to do with the cover. But when I saw this stuff at the dollar store, I thought, oh my gosh, that little birdhouse would be perfect on the front. Okay, and then get my little flower down there. And I kind of like the little cluster there at the top. That's kind of cute. So I'll get this one down. on top of it. Okay, and then I had this little butterfly, which is just a little dollar store thing too. So I thought, well, let's just get that on there. My budget right now is pretty much dollar store. And Michael's, 50% off. Okay, and this stuff might need reinforcing later. And then I'm just looking at that little, this was just sitting on my desk. And I think that that would go perfect there. Oh my gosh, that would be perfect. I love doing that. I love just picking something off the desk. Where it came from, I don't know. But it was obviously meant to be. I love lace. Alright, so we got that in there. Push that along. And I think that's good for now, because I can't think of anything else to throw in there. I mean, I could have put that butterfly, but I kind of like the flowers better. And then we have our closure. So we can just close that, tie that up. And as it grows, and there you have it. So I thank you so much for joining me today. If you did like this little project, or you got inspired by printing on tissue or tracing paper, you know, doing a little bit of mixed media type thing, then I'd love for you to give me a like. And if you haven't subscribed already, I'd love for you to subscribe. And until we meet again, I hope you stay safe and well, and bye for now.